Oregon has some of the most diverse highways in the country, including many running north and south, parallel to each other, like Interstate 5, Oregon routes 99E, 99W, and 223, all running parallel to each other, with not even 30 miles between the two farthest ones in some spots. However, when you start heading east towards the Oregon coast and US Route 101 through the coastal mountains, there is a drought of north-south highways all the way from the southern border of Oregon and California until Oregon Route 47, which is north of Portland and quite close to the Washington-Oregon border. While only 30 miles across longitudinally, it separates entire communities and towns based off these throughways through the coastal mountain range, not having connections between each other. But what if I told you in the late 1920s a highway was planned, and in the early 1930s it was partly built, only to be scrapped halfway through development? Even crazier, what if I told you this highway still exists? Come with me on a journey to the worst currently maintained Oregon highway, and hopefully you'll learn something new along the way. The Alsea-Deadwood Highway was originally planned to be a throughway primarily to serve logging trucks and the logging industry that was booming throughout the Industrial Revolution, especially in the Pacific Northwest. As the name suggests, the route was planned to run from a small logging town by the name of Alsea, southbound towards another town of the same nature, Deadwood. Let's look into the history of things in this area before we dive into the actual drive. Alsea is a small logging town officially established in the 1850s as a pioneer settlement after they kicked all the natives into reservations during the Oregon Trail craze. Its current location is quite close to a small plateau in the coastal mountains now named Lobster Valley. From what I can gather online, which really isn't much, it seems that they farmed the area there in Lobster Valley until about the early 1900s, when the automobile, proper local and federal government maintained roads, and eventually heavy forest machinery was developed, and the scope of the little town turned from agriculture to logging. Soon, national forest roads started being made to dig deeper and deeper into the coastal mountain range forests, off its main highway, Oregon Route 34, which runs from United States Route 101 in Waldport all the way to US Route 20, located in Philomath. Deadwood follows quite a similar path as Alsea, being founded a bit later and carried into a proper community thanks to a man by the name of Thomas Pope, who started the first farm there and later became the first postmaster of the first post office there. I say first post office because in 1914 it was discontinued by the United States Postal Service until 1950 when it was reinstated. Like Alsea, the forest road started branching off in the early 1900s off its main highway, Oregon Route 36, which runs from Oregon Route 126 in Mapleton to Oregon Route 99 a couple miles south of Junction City, where it splits into 99E and 99W. Now these two towns located in the mountains are not that far apart on a map. Using Google Maps' measure distance function, it tells me there is only 20 miles in a straight line separating these two locations. However, if you use Google Maps to take you from one end to the other, it's going to make you go from Alsea westbound towards Oregon Route 99W, and you're going to have to drive almost 3.5 times what the actual distance between them is. Now, what I'm about to say is purely speculation, but log trucks are not exactly known for their top speed or acceleration performance, especially in such a wet area such as a place that's literally not even 50 miles from the Pacific Ocean. And while these aren't the worst grades I've seen on national forest roads, I don't believe early logging trucks were very good at getting from one side to the other, and clearly somebody had pressured somebody to build a highway between these two logging towns, and in the process connecting the very, very small town of Paris, Oregon, another logging community, to the main Oregon routes. This new, at the time, highway is called internally by the Oregon Department of Transportation, or ODOT, as the Alsea-Deadwood Highway number 201, and this was its only name until 2002 when ODOT decided it needed a proper Oregon route number for whatever reason. Now, finding the original planned route for this highway is impossible, at least it was for me, but looking at the forest roads that cross these mountains, the two highlights are NF32 and NF35. My guess would have to be NF32 and its couple of offshoots would have been the preferred route, as it does cross into Paris, Oregon. Oregon Route 501 currently is only 9.5 miles long, and every half mile you'll swear the road surface gets worse. At its tail end, near Lobster Valley Road, which is county maintained as opposed to the ODOT maintained highway, it turns into a pretty twisty, borderline National Forest spec road, which is on very unstable ground and commonly has landslides that block it for up to a week if ODOT's got something bigger they're worrying with. Fortunately, it seems the folks that live out there and still farm in the Lobster Valley land report it to the Oregon Trip Check website, so if you're ever planning on at least exploring the area, you might want to check that out first. But enough with boring time, it's time to take the trip out to Alsea and attempt to cross the mountain. Now my vehicle of choice, actually the only vehicle that I own, is my 2006 Acura TSX, rebadged as a Honda of course, because Ricer. Enough about my old Honda, let's hit the road. So here's where I messed up, because my GoPro is supposed to have a microphone hooked up to it. That microphone is inside the engine bay. I didn't realize it was unhooked until after 501 had already ended. So it's gonna be a little eerie, a little silent, so I'll put on some background music here. But as you can see, we're entering the small town of Alsea, and there's a sign that says Alsea Deadwood Highway, and then there's a Route 501 shield right under it. You can't quite see it from this camera angle. I'll pop up another one right here. And it actually starts out pretty okay. First couple miles feel like normal ODOT maintained roads. It's not on any unstable ground yet. But as we continue on, it is going to get quite a bit bumpier, and I do have the stabilization turned off on the GoPro to really convey that, yeah, it's quite bumpy. Here's about where the road starts to get a little iffy. There's definitely some road patches here and there, some old spots here and there. Still nothing too crazy, not on any crazy elevation or anything, but you're starting to see the pattern that's gonna emerge. Now here we're starting to get into the twisty section. This is digging a little bit into a mountain, and it is, it's quite bumpy, it's quite rough. It's starting to get narrow, you know. It's not exactly what you would call a Oregon route, you know. It is definitely getting to the point of like maybe county road, you know, maybe National Forest road. It's definitely served only for a couple people, and it is not like a main route that hundreds of thousands of people take a day, you know. Shout out to the old woman in the Cadillac who almost head on me because they did not respect the center line. Remember guys, I don't care how fast you're going, I don't care how fast you want to go, you never cross the mustard. Never. I think this is a good still to really demonstrate how bad the road surface is starting to get in these later miles. This is around the 6 or 7 mile mark, and it is absolutely horrid, especially with some pumped up tires in my low car. Absolutely not. Would not recommend to try to drive even remotely fast through here. This is probably 35 miles an hour on my part. Here is probably my favorite part of the highway. This is a good left-handed hairpin with a good bump in the middle. It gives you a real good shock, especially in a low car like mine. So here is the official end of Highway 501. It dumps you straight into Benton County maintained Lobster Valley Road, which is a huge jump. Literally, it's just a bump, and then it is just smooth, perfectly paved road surface. Thank you, Benton County. That's really it. It gives you one sign at the start and one sign at the end. You really don't get very far. It doesn't take you to anywhere really exciting. I mean, I know you see all the people on the side of the road. There was some event happening at the fire station there in Lobster Valley, but after that, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, basically. Now I'm gonna let you in on what this highway could have been. Now, I unfortunately didn't realize I took National Forest Road 35 when I intended to take National Forest Road 32, which is the route that I thought was going to be the officially planned route, because it is written that they plan this highway to go through Paris, Oregon, which National Forest Road 32 gets pretty close to. I had followed a brown road sign that just pointed me towards Oregon Route 36, and that led me to National Forest Road 35, which still took me to Deadwood, and makes me wonder if they were to ever expand this highway to go all the way through the mountains. This is probably the route they would take now, because Paris probably, I think last time I looked it up, had like 20 something people. They wouldn't really be serving many people going with the longer route towards Paris. Just imagine it's what they would do nowadays instead of me going down the original route, which I originally planned to go down. That was calculated totally, yeah. It is gorgeous out here. I mean, probably like 75, 80 degrees. Birds, you don't hear any other engines other than myself, you know. I will admit I kind of messed up because I only have probably about an hour and a half, is what my GoPro's saying, left for storage. So the footage might end before I actually reach Highway 36. I hope not, but this is quite a twisty, quite a bumpy road, and for this low thing, yeah, so far I've already hit 2 things, you know, and I thought I was just gonna roll right over, but apparently not. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, just look at it. Absolutely gorgeous out. I love it. I love it.
What the hell? Oh my God.
And to think this road here, this forest road, built on that, a cliff. And this is supposed to hold up log trucks? Okay, bro. Okay.
Oh, shitting.
There he is, beating that dead horse. Get him!
name is Andrew Dingus.
Oh, shittings.
Here is the end of Forest Service Road 35. This turns into Upper Deadwood Creek Road. And here is where Upper Deadwood Creek Road turns into just Deadwood Creek Road. Here is the last terrain switch before reaching Highway 36, from gravel to asphalt, and it feels great. And there we go, from Oregon Route 34 all the way to Oregon Route 36, using 501 as my start, making it an Alsea Deadwood Highway, like its name suggests. Now, were the forest roads highway ready? Yeah, maybe not. Might use a couple dollars to fix that up there, ODOT. But I think it is totally possible that this road could have been built and could have been finished. I don't know the exact reasons why it never was finished. It's a totally possible road. It really is. And it's an amazing, gorgeous cruise if you live in the Willamette Valley area in Oregon. I would suggest, taking an adventure. Why not? There's a million bajillion roads just like this throughout the entire coastal mountain range. There's even some forest roads going through the Cascade Mountain Range, which is probably going to be my next video because those are also amazing. So if you really did make it this far, I mean, who are we kidding? You're probably sleeping. But if you did, feel free to leave a like. I mean, this is my first video, my first real proper video on YouTube, and it's sort of a passion project for me. I spent way too much money on camera equipment and gas and all that, so it would really mean a lot if you showed the channel some support. I'll see you.